All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Family Beatdown Update Show. It's week number 5. As far as Notre Dame USC update, a short one this week. Both teams were idle as they prepare for matchups this upcoming week. Notre Dame will be traveling up to Chicago to host the Miami Hurricanes, University of Miami, in the Shamrock series. We had a good time with that last time. At least I had a good time. USC travels to Utah to take on the Utes, who are new to the Pac-12 and are probably going to get whomped pretty good, but you can never tell with these here Trojans. Notre Dame, even being idle, moved up one in the rankings to number 9 in the AP rankings, and SC holds solid at number 13. Taking a look at action from week 4 in the Family Beatdown, I went 3-2 on my picks for the week. I'm still doing fairly well. I now stand 15-8 on the season and 65% win percentage for you stats freaks. Taking a look at on the field action. Smell This came out on top of Mullets for Boldens by a 23-point margin. MudDawgs 195.8 on top of Girard Invincibles. And this was the matchup of Drew Brees versus Aaron Rodgers, which was a head-to-head matchup last week, a national game that we all saw, or at least had the opportunity to see, and this actually pitted in a fantasy playoff. Dad with 149.5, Rick with 195.8. Rick takes the win and remains perfect. Rednecks, not to be outdone in her own house, Rednecks put up 195.5. Can you imagine Dawn and Rick in a head-to-head playoff with 195.8 on one hand and 195.5 on the other? My goodness. But 195.5 on top of the previously unbeaten Decepticons, who put up 140. In our closest game of the week, Bears 6 were able to prevail. They needed a strong performance on Monday night to prevail 142.5 to 141 over Blue and Gold. Tony Romo, with his 31.7 and 5 picks, was enough for Michael as he was able to squeak it out over our good friend Jake. Mighty Mullets and the Beehole Wreckers. The Mighty Mullets took this one by a 14-point margin, 147.4 to 133.7. And then Show Me Them TDs and Blood, Sweat, and Beer, battle of our rookie owners. Danny continues to be tough, improves her record to 2-2, and takes the head-to-head matchup with Rebecca, who slips to 1-3. Danny led with 44.3 from Stafford and 21 from Vincent Jackson, and Stavon Ridley with 27.6, still putting up insane numbers. So that's the way the cards fell in week 4. Taking a look at our league, as I mentioned, Decepticons goes down in flames, so they're now sitting 3-1. But MudDawgs sitting atop the heap here, as it were, 4-0 as the lone unbeaten team. But the top 3 in the Cardinal division are MudDawgs, Decepticons, and Blood, Sweat, and Beers. And top 3 in the Gold division are Rednecks, Smell This, and Girard Invincibles. Wow, Rednecks vaulted past me in the points for by a margin of 60 with that huge win that she had. So now Smell This is sitting 2nd in the Gold division. So the top 6 teams, in no particular order: MudDawgs, Decepticons, Blood, Sweat, and Beer, Rednecks, Smell This, and Girard Invincibles. Those would be your playoff teams should the playoffs start today. Looking at our Week 5 matchups. Let's take a quick look here. Oh, we'll go to our very first one here. Smell This versus the Mighty Mullets. Smell This has a couple players on bye with the Detroit players, Calvin Jackson and Michael LaShore. Those are big holes to fill. Tyson looking pretty good, only Des Bryant sitting out this week. Looking at the projected stats, it's 113.9 to 99.3. Key matchups: Robert Griffin III against Atlanta, AJ Green against Miami, and I still have those holes to fill. I have to select between Chris Johnson. He's going to get some playing time, and Sed Benson. He might as well. On the Mighty Mullet side, Michael Vick against Pittsburgh. That is going to be a brutal matchup for Pittsburgh, and Vick has been a little sketchy. Devin Hester they're saying he's playing, but isn't he on? No, he's playing. Okay. Devin Hester against Jacksonville. He had a great game on Monday night. Even so, because I love the sound of my own voice, I'm giving the pick to Smell This. Bears 6 versus the Decepticons. Two high-scoring teams here, 2-2 versus 3-1. Jed just off the fresh spanking from the Rednecks. His only bye is Sebastian Janikowski. Mike, on the other hand, Tony Romo sitting down, as is Brandon Pettigrew. So some holes to fill over there. Joe Flacco sitting on the bench for Michael, so we'll see how he makes the recovery there. Looking at the stats, Michael's got lots of holes to fill. Only projected to score 62 right now, but he'll do much better than that. Decepticons 131. I think Michael's going to win and move to 3-2, and Jed's going to lose and drop to 3-2. Looking at Gerard Invincibles versus Mama of Four Boldens. Let me just submit this pick. Save that there. Let's go back here real quick. All right. Mama of Four Boldens taking on Gerard Invincibles. Gerard Invincibles continuing to look okay. Had a good week, but couldn't quite match the 195 by Rick. But Aaron Rodgers plays Indianapolis and is projected to put up 46. Mama of Four Boldens has Phillip Rivers against New Orleans. That's going to be tough. Although maybe not. That New Orleans defense is pretty holy. Right now it's 120-97 in the favor of Gerard Invincibles. I'm going to give the pick to the Gerard Invincibles. Going way out on a limb there, aren't I? Rednecks. Oh, here we go. We got two husband and wife, as it were. Not to get ahead of myself in one particular instance, but we've got two husband and wife situations playing this week. We've got the Rednecks versus the MudDawgs in that head-to-head matchup, that hypothetical matchup that I talked about in the intro, with each team putting up over 195. Right now, MudDawgs are projected at 148 and Rednecks at 117. Dawn has got to cover for Jason Witten. Cam Newton against Seattle. That Seattle defense is for real, folks. Reggie Bush against Cincinnati. Just not great matchups on the part of Dawn. In Rick's case, Drew Brees against San Diego. It's a tough one, but Brees is playing out of his mind right now. Ryan Matthews and Matt Bryant and Chicago defense are all projected to get double points. I'm going to go with the Rednecks because we got to start putting the bad hex upon these unbeaten teams. Rick has got to lose this week. In our other, why is it not saving? In our other head-to-head matchup, Blue and Gold takes on Show Me Them TDs. These are two 1-3 teams looking for respect and looking for a win. Right now it's 129.3 to 114.4 in favor of Jake. Looking at Jake's lineup, he's got Peyton Manning into New England, not a good matchup. Deshaun Jackson against Pittsburgh, Lance Moore against San Diego. Those are all three tough defenses. On Rebecca's side, little brother Eli plays against Cleveland. That could be a good day for him. Greg Jennings against Indianapolis and Andre Brown against Cleveland. So I got to tell you, I like that matchup of the New York Giants against Cleveland, and I'm going to give the pick to Rebecca. And in our game of the week, and if you haven't noticed, the game of the week always goes to the last team, the two teams that I talk about. Beho Wreckers versus Blood, Sweat, and Beer. On paper, it's 137 to 110 in favor of the Beho. Alex got a cover for Doug Martin, but Matt Ryan plays Washington. Jeremy Macklin plays Pittsburgh. You don't have a lot of stars. I get convinced you got Arian Foster down low. Arian Foster against the New York Jets. That's still a tough defense. On Danny's side, Blood, Sweat, and Beer. She needs this win to continue her momentum. Matt Castle against Baltimore. Matt has been, Romeo Cornell has come out and said Matt is his boy. Steve Smith against Seattle. Dominic Hickson, who went ballistic last week against Cleveland. I'm going to give it to Blood, Sweat, and Beer in favor of that Cleveland versus the Giants matchup. Now listen, Veronica, do me a favor. Have your Giants make sure they cover. I went out on a limb here and I picked the Giants to win. I picked the Giants to represent, and I need them to come through, and I'm not comfortable with this whole Giant thing as it is. Any rate, I'm done talking for the week. Have a good week for everybody. Oh, no, I'm not. Buys this week are Dallas, Detroit, Oakland, and Tampa Bay. Dallas, Detroit, Oakland, and Tampa Bay. And Thursday night game is Arizona versus Seattle. Get your lineup set. So long, everybody.